In this video, we will perform a ProTrak 18-inch setup. These are the tools and materials that you will need for this installation. Looking at the unit from the rear, place the ProTrak on your work surface with the right side facing up. Take one of the channels and align it with the holes on the silver side plate of the ProTrak unit. The threaded holes on the channel extension should be on the outside of the unit, away from the ProTrak body. Thread two of the socket head screws to connect the channel extension to the side plate, and use the 5/16 Allen wrench to tighten. Insert the right stub, which is the stub that has two sets of pins that are furthest apart, into the spindle on the right side of the ProTrak body. Insert it with the lowest set of pins towards the spindle. Ensure that the stub isn't spinning freely inside the drive axle. The stub should be engaged. Insert one of the 5.46-inch couplers into the stub and rotate to lock in place. Take one of the track assemblies and insert the stub on the inside of the rear of the track assembly into the coupler. Rotate the assembly to lock the stub into the coupler, then rotate the assembly to line up the bolt holes of the spacers that you just installed. It's important to note that if the wrong stub was used, the track assembly will not align with the channel extension. Thread two of the socket head screws to secure the track assembly to the channel extensions. Use the 5/16 Allen wrench to tighten the two bolts connecting the track assembly to the channel extensions. Carefully rotate the ProTrak unit so that the left side is facing up, and repeat the previous process. Take the remaining channel extension and align it with the holes on the silver side plate of the ProTrak unit. The threaded holes on the channel extension should be on the outside of the unit, away from the ProTrak body. Thread two of the socket head screws to connect the channel extension to the side plate, and use the 5/16 Allen wrench to tighten. Insert the left stub, which is the stub that has the two sets of pins that are closest together, into the spindle on the left side of the ProTrak body. Insert it with the lowest set of pins towards the spindle. Ensure that the stub is not spinning freely inside the drive axle. The stub should be engaged. Insert the remaining 5.46-inch coupler into the stub and rotate to lock in place. Take the remaining track assembly and insert the stub on the inside of the rear of the track assembly into the coupler. Rotate the assembly to lock the stub into the coupler, then rotate the assembly to line up the bolt holes of the spacers that you just installed. And once again, if the wrong stub was used, the track assembly will not align with the channel extension. Thread the remaining two socket head screws to secure the assembly to the channel extension. Use the 5/16 Allen wrench to tighten the two screws connecting the track to the channel extension. Carefully rotate the unit so the top of the unit is facing up to make sure the setup is secure and your channel extensions are correctly installed. It is now time to install the brass camera riser plate. The top of the plate has the indention running the length of the plate, and the rear of the plate has the two silver spacers on the end of the top of the plate. It is at this point you should install the camera to the riser plate. The camera cannot be mounted after the riser plate is installed. The camera must be attached before installing the riser in order to complete the 18-inch extension installation. You will need to rotate the plate with the camera installed so that the bottom of the plate is facing up. Take one of the 1-inch risers and thread into the hole in the center of the camera riser plate towards the rear and tighten to finger tight. Take the other 1-inch riser and thread in the hole in the center of the plate towards the front and tighten to finger tight. Align the riser plate so that the bottom slides up underneath the top of the base plate and the risers are facing up. The holes on the bottom of the risers will line up with the mounting holes on the ProTrak base plate. Thread the two 1/2 inch 13 by 1 inch button head bolts through the mounting holes and into the risers. Use the 5/16 Allen wrench to tighten these bolts. Your unit is now set up for 18-inch pipe inspections. You can contact product support for additional troubleshooting assistance after completing these initial tasks.